Hi guys, it's me, Just Machine again, and in this video, I shall be continuing my little trend of talking about two Star Trek movies in honor of Mr. Leonard Nimoy that passed away in January all those years ago. So I will be talking about one from the original run of the Star Trek movies, plus the Generation movies, and I will be talking about one of the Star Trek movies in the new run of the movies. And in this one, it's the final year for that Star Trek Beyond. But for right now, I shall be talking about the movie Star Trek 3, The Search for this guy, Spock. Because in the last movie, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, Spock was lost in space because he had died, or was dying of some kind of radiation poisoning, which led to, I guess, cancer. So Paul Vulcan was over there dying and everything, so they had to, so he had to die in the reactor room, or I think it was. And then in this one they had a nice funeral service for him, which I have a feeling now to think about it was inspiration for one of the deaths in Futurama. I think of Phil J. Fry. But anyway, this is a different type of movie, and it's very funny. I mean, I've seen it in the Star Trek review of the movie from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And yeah, if you go by his review of it, you'll think that this movie is rather stupid and rather dull and boring. But I do find some interesting, funny bits here and there, because I am a fan of Star Wars as well as Star Trek nowadays. So I'll put him right here in this big honor. So yeah, let me just get this off the belt right away. Leonard Nimoy was a legend. Only was he in Star Trek, the TV show and the movies, many of them, but he was also in the one of the Transformers movies, as well as the King of Atlantis in Atlantis Lost Empire, among a few other things too. Probably did some philanthropy too, and even his trademark of Vulcan salute, which I can't do, was also inspired by a Jewish, I think, Hansen or something or other. So he was a very influential guy for that alone. So yeah, but you kind of figured that the movie, which centers upon looking for a Spock, even though he had just passed away in the movie series, was actually it was kind of fitting that Mr. Nimoy does the voiceover for the Kabul to go with no people have come before that introduction, as well as a few other things too. In fact, the character of Spock in this movie was actually performed by a bunch of people, like 4 or 5 actors, plus Nimoy himself. So does that. And they really put a lot of emphasis on Mr. Spock, as I think it's the most recognizable character in the whole lineup from the original one. Now, before I actually get into the movie proper with the description and all that, I have to ask, is it like a Dragon Ball Z type thing where the movies are set separate from the actual show, or is it like the same continuity? Because there were some things here, like, for example, Captain Kirk has a son, and his son, name is David Gnome. So, what I want to know is that they're getting into the actual TV show? Because I know that, what's the name, Khan was actually played by, I think, I know, recall Michael Bob put him in the movie, but, was he actually, I'm pretty sure they played by somebody else in the TV show. So, what is it like is it like a separate continuity, or is it like the same continuity? Because being that this one comes directly after, second one in the show, like in the movie lineup, it's kind of like, Frieza dying, and then Nick wanted to take it over, and then directly from there, the Return of Core after the Revenge Core of Cooler, and then there's Super Saiyan Bully, and then the Second Coming, which obviously comes after the introduction of Bully. Among a few other little things here and there. But besides that, yeah, I'm freaking more confused with science fiction stuff. And, this is a great movie because, first, Captain Kirk felt awful that he had the Jesnit best comrade in the space, being that just passed away, and he couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't even touch his dying friend. So it turns out that during a scene from, I guess it must have been from the movie Khan, they had Spock do some Vulcan mind meld with Bones, the resident physician, and he ended up transferring, I guess, part of its content to Bones, or the location or something or other, which I find kind of weird because, first of all, Bones doesn't even want to do it. And, being that he's the physician of the group, that he's the most qualified, I guess, to do it. And, I think that, that for that be him, giving him a little more importance, a little more screen time on the show. So, also, another thing too is that this comes down to one of those type of things where science fiction writers, or any kind of writers, like, when a new installment of a new franchise come around, they try to make it so that the character is relevant again, and they gotta look for that person again. Also, they have to come up with new powers, new abilities of the character to make them more relevant again. So, like in this case, I honestly didn't know that Spock has the power as a Vulcan to transfer part of his mind or consciousness to another unwilling staff. Part of trusted friend and stuff. But I could see why he didn't try doing that to Jim Kirk, because he was well, with Jim Kirk by definition, he was very risky, very promiscuous, and very annoying too, and arrogant on top of that. Like Zeb Brannigan, which was a direct influence from Captain Kirk. But anyway, he transferred this concept through a very weird, I don't know if they actually told it in Wrath of Khan, but they did, they did, and probably did like an alternate, camera angle. Meanwhile, Bones has like all these weird, nightmares and whatever of Spock. Even Kirk is always, daydreaming by hearing a voice in his head of Spock. I would imagine that many people would hear that too, dreaming about Leonard Nimoy and many of his roles throughout history. Even the line the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, which I'm sure that will never get reused for another movie franchise ever again. So they have to go find a Spock, and he's been shot to jettisoned to this place where the Genesis project taking place, and it's really weird because you have like models and that kind of thing for like the practical effects of seeing the ship docking with this giant space station, which I am not convinced that ship thing wasn't a direct inspiration for High Cherry in the Halo franchise. So in any case, the Enterprise crew has to refit and restock the ship because it was torn to pieces. Well, it was heavily damaged when they did for the Wakanda in the second movie, so they had to redo the ship. But in the meantime, they have a new ship, an Enterprise 2.0, which I'm too uninterested to actually see the actual name of the new ship, so I'm gonna call it just Enterprise 2.0. Anyway, when these people actually see this ship in the docks, brand spanking new, they're pretty much solving over the prospect of flying this brand new thing. To see getting all happy and stuff over it. You see James Kirk saying, wonder how fast this thing goes. You see, Bones too, see Scotty, see, Mr. Zulu saying, oh my, to that big giant ship in the Dog Bay. Meanwhile, there are some people out there that don't want to take it, so I guess I think it's implied that Kirk steals the ship illegally, which is fine for the movie. But anyway, the point is, we're trying to make it that got all these effects on there, and the effects for the actual guests part reaching a dead planet or a non-living planet, because it had to be alive for it to be dead, and it's just a big rock at this point. Anyway, they showed the Genesis project working, and they showed it a CGI model of the ship, of the planet being cheated and, you know, becoming put oceans on it, then permanent plant life and all that. They basically terraform the planet, and it's bigger to CGI for it. But the only thing is that when the people that made this movie, when they actually made the effects for that, I think they blew for the budget on that thing, plus the effects of the warp drive on the ships and whatnot, and the bird of prey and all that. Because when they actually show when they actually show like a video game, if you will, for that people play for themselves, you know, versus each other and stuff. You do like a simple biplane versus a biplane, but it's all with wireframes. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of primitive and stuff. Which it's weird because many years earlier they made the movie called Star Wars, and I forgot which movie it was in. They had like a 3D hologram chessboard there. I forgot they even named it or whatever. But they had that was miles ahead of the whole biplane thing that they had made from the came out years afterwards. So then they blew the CGI budget on that. And plus they also have the guy there. And I hope that you're not gonna whine about me butchering his accent. But the Genesis guy, yeah, him, that was a very weird thing what's the name, that Doug Walker actually made fun of his voice and stuff. But if you actually listen to him, he sounds very familiar. He sounds a lot like Yoda from the original trilogy, at least. You know, after he got the little speech, what I call a speech impediment, but he always does like reverse sentence structure, and he sounds a lot like that. So what I think happened was that Gene Roddenberry got it made Star Trek. I think he must have seen the Star Wars character Yoda, and he made he said, you know, I like the guy, but I don't want to make reinvent all that. So let me see what's the most iconic part of the character that I can use for this movie. Let me think. The voice sounds pretty good, pretty cool. So I'm gonna use that sentence structure and put in another guy with a funny voice. And that I'm gonna make him into like I'm gonna have him in a CD bar type area to like Moscow Cantina. And that was actually pretty funny. And you see, I thought you never knew that there was gonna be a reference to how Star Wars would to influence Star Trek. But if you hear good, you pick up that voice pattern easily. So anyway, I was hoping about the Genesis project, and the Genesis thing is like supposed to be like hush hush, you know, government quietness, you know, top secret classified information, whatever. And everyone that goes there is like supposed to be restricted, highly classified, highly you know, up and up. The people that want to see it have to be top government officials and all that. So it's very, very risky for this guy to take these nerf herders to see it, to get their Spock back. But they do. And eventually you'll see the main bad guy in the movie. A Klingon character. I don't know what the name is. I couldn't tell you. Probably in some kind of Klingon language or something. Played by none other than Christopher freaking Lloyd. Of all people. Now, I want to ask you guys who are more versed in the Star Trek universe. What's the actual character on the TV show that was played by Lloyd? I really want to know that question. Answer to that question. Because he plays awesome Klingon. He's also got a little dog here too. That looks like the zoo dog from the Ghostbusters movie. And Afterlife too. Was that? Yeah, Afterlife. So that's something funny. Yes, this movie got a smorgasbord of sci-fi references, but unfortunately they don't have the dog do that much. Just like roar, 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 and that kind of thing. Looking so cute, like a cockle cat, like a cockle castle cat. You know, the one that growls all the time and hiss. And the anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Now, like I said, I didn't know that Captain Kirk had a son, and although we expect when a guy that spills so much, that spills more seed than field full of sunflowers. I mean, obviously, gonna put a fun kid, or maybe one dozen kids, I don't know, but I'm surprised that he's not green or has gills or something because of everything that Captain Kirk has slept with. But in any case, this kid goes with Savak on another Vulcan to go down this new platform, which they look for Spock, but they find him as a boy. And the finding is that this boy is the real biological Spock, and to know that after I'm not sure if it was implied after he was killed or during the process of being killed, that he was touched by the Den Project, the effect of it, where he was very luckily able to get regrown from an embryo and all that, to the point that he ended up becoming a full Vulcan, a full Nimoy-esque Vulcan. And it's pretty cool and very coincidental and very lucky, because I'm sure that there was a lot of backlash for wanting to offer one of the most popular, if not the most popular character on the show, Star Trek. So, yeah, there was that. And, you know, everyone was all happy and all that Spock was back. So, yay for that. Everyone was probably cheering and real happy and stuff. It conjures up images of the guy from the Avatar cartoon show with the guy that was overly happy to the point that he was foaming at the mouth and probably had a t-shirt at that point in the show. So I'm sorry for bringing that up. But at least he Spock as a little kid, maybe about 10 or 12 years old at that point. So it's very nice. And we also see him with accelerated growth during that point in which he eventually grows up into someone that resembles Leonard Nimoy until he eventually becomes Leonard Nimoy again in Thor figure. And then, yeah, I'll get to that. Well, eventually, yeah, he forms a bond with a Spock and David, yeah, Kirk's kid, and they end up getting. It's kind of weird because Spock is like a female Vulcan. So I would imagine that there are many things thrown inside of a teenage Spock at that point. Things that I probably can't even tell you right now. And it reminded me of the episode which Spock was to fight with Kirk over his love interest. And it did the fight, which again would be kind of able to teach off her friends, Liber, two best friends. But in any case, they so I'm out getting on with that. Although I'm surprised that they don't do a repeat of this show in it where they do the fight with him and David over her affections. I guess they probably implied that because she's the same alien species as him, that there would be more of a compatibility thing go on. But that would have been a good missed opportunity. But they actually do have a fight with David and Christopher Lloyd going on. And sadly, David does die to Klingon General because, he's savage and brutal and all that. So, he did fight him, and he did get defeated by Lloyd. Now, Kirk takes revenge on Klingon in a very funny way, because they at one point the Klingons beam aboard the ship. Yeah. And he decided to take them all out at one time, except for the leader, Lloyd. And what happens is that, you see, this next part is very hilarious, very funny, because, the Klingons there are supposed to be ruthless, shoot first as quick later kill, like the ultimate ice enforcer, if you will. But it's science fiction, and it's dumb too. So, what happens is that they go aboard the ship, and it's like, where is everybody? Oh boy, the computer's talking to us. And look, she's even counting down for us too. To say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And then the commander says, put it on for me, so I can hear it. And then he said, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then right as he said 2 or 1, he heard Lloyd say, get off the ship. And then it ran kablooey. So, this is very funny because they're very dim-witted and they get blown by that. And then, I kept thinking to myself, wouldn't it be very hilarious if when countdown reaches 0. So the nice computer AI lady says, "Have a nice day." And then they all say, "Thank you." And they go boom. But beyond that, these Klingon warriors are supposed to be pardon, right? It's supposed to be battle savvy. They're supposed to be world weary, if you will, or I guess universe worthy or something like weary. So they're supposed to know about battle tactics. They're supposed to know about countdown to destruct features on computers. They're supposed to know all these things. Know your enemy and stuff. Unless they're that belligerent, not stupid, that the only thing they will do is kill. But anyway, well, you would think that they would learn something from the commander-in-chief, what to do and stuff. But I guess not. So it was so funny that it heals the ship. And then they go boom. So anyway, the further his revenge on Lloyd, the further his revenge on Lloyd, he kill him. So then, so anyway, they have to, they do that, and then they have Lloyd, go up against Kirk. Yeah, another mixed opportunity to do the, that thing. I guess that was a book in a ceremony. So then they had him do that, and it was funny because they had Lloyd bear hug Captain Kirk, William Shatner. That was really funny. So then they had them fighting each other, and right at the end, you have Christopher Lloyd hanging off the edge of the cliff, Dog Trout hanging off the cliff. I thought it was like Bruce Scott as he went down, but it was funny because Captain Kirk, almost instant wisdom to the words, I've had enough of you. And then he kicked him off the edge to his oblivion. And you see him get green screened off the edge of the cliff, which is real funny. And I gotta admit, I do like the makeup job they did for the condoms. They were very good with the little ones on top of their heads, or the butt cheek heads, or whatever you call them. And let's see here, there was also, so, along with Christopher Lloyd, there was also a character in there, a minor character in there, and she was also in the show Taxi, along with Christopher Lloyd, and that be Mary Lou Stevenson, her name was. They had, she played a fleet commander or something or other. That was actually pretty funny. That I recognized her from that show, along with Lloyd. Also, Lloyd from a lot of stuff too. Like Back to the Future, from Roger Rabbit, and the list goes on from there. So anyway, after the main bad guys go, and unfortunately, the dog gets killed too. You have, oh yeah, by the way, when, Captain Kirk said that the guy before he died, before he fights him, he said, look at all around the place is coming apart, place is being destroyed from the Genesis project to failure. So then Lord said, yes, isn't it wonderful? So then they fight and he dies. So in any case, you have, after he dies, Spock is returned back to the Enterprise 2.0. No, softly command I used to get 2.0 got destroyed. Trying to set up the other guy to be killed. So in any case, they do that. And then they show his process by which Vulcans go into adulthood. And when they get into adulthood, it looks very painful. The metamorphosis. That's why they don't show on the show, because instant kids being tortured like that. So anyway, they show time for Bones to give up whatever information he has in his head to Spock to make him more complete. And they say that Bones is very likely to be in charge of all this information, and to break a religion that he normally wouldn't be allowed to go into this, like a super secret, super special, religious, almost, bridge passage for the Vulcans. I'm sitting there, like, thinking to myself, like, is Kirk jealous of him because Spock chose Bones over himself? And then another thing too, I wonder if Captain Kirk ever fantasizes about sleeping with any of the Vulcan women there. Because that he would, if he were a real character, he would still sleep with everything under the sun. Almost all suns. He probably has clipboard of everything, every species known to man, and he probably is like, I want to get with that, I want to get with that, I want to get back with that again. I want to try this person, that person, and the other thing. But, yeah, he transferred the mind, the undo the mind node of Spock. Even though he said that it's going to be very painful for Bones. But Bones said, I'll do this for my friends, Mr. Spock. Which is really touching. And I don't think that it's painful. Well, anyway, it's pretty good. So, they have, they have Spock do his famous line of, you have always been, and you will always be my friend. To James T. Kirk, even though he didn't choose him to be the carrier for all of his memories and personality. So, yeah, that was a pretty good movie. It ended whole Russell Khan search for Spock, storyline about him being disappeared, and everything else. Now, I think that they also copy over the whole Vision Quest thing and him hearing voices and stuff directly into another Futurama episode with the giant killer bees, and they like hearing that Fry's voice in his dreams and stuff. So these two movies carried a lot of weight in science fiction, and vice versa. Anyway, I thank you for watching this video on Star Trek 3, the search for the guy back there. I enjoyed this movie. It was fun. I like all the effects, like all the music, like all the acting. Christopher Lloyd was fun as a villain again. And I like it written outburst. And of course, did this in memory of Leonard Wayne. Rest in peace. And he went on a trip to he went far beyond the galaxy far away to go to both go where no man has gone before, or woman for that matter. And yeah, it was fun, this movie. And if you like what you see here, and want to see more of my videos and such, and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my future videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or if you want, you can always follow me on Twitter or X, if you prefer to call it that, at P. Nelson Pro. Also, you can get my email at jksviewingchannel@gmail.com. So I salute all you guys who like Star Trek, Star Wars, Futurama, sci-fi, or any type of comedy or drama, whatever you call this movie. And second person said this, I'll see you in the next video. All you guys into the land. Sayonara. And and live long and prosper.